Hi there folks, Tommy Titchmarsh out in the blueberry pop-up garden on a beautiful sunny day, and I've got a special video for you today by special request from one Mr. Jamie Buckley. Now, he was watching some of my Tommy Titchmarsh videos and he noticed the willow structure that I'd built just back there in the blueberry pop-up garden, and he wanted to know how he could do the same thing himself. Now, I'll begin by saying I am no expert when it comes to building willow structures, but I'd seen it done a couple of times and I thought to myself, why not give it a go? So in that spirit, I gave it a go, and that's the spirit that I would like you to approach this. There are no hard and fast rules, and if you make something that you're proud of and you find your own way to do it, then that's fantastic. I'm going to show you what I did, and hopefully it'll be clear how you could do it yourself at home. So we're going to be looking at building our own willow structure for peas and beans. Now, I've picked out the tools that you're going to need. Before you watch this video, there is a list of tools that you're going to need that accompany this video with the material, so do have a look at that list before you get going. I'm going to go over it now though for you, and you can gather all that stuff together and then we're ready to start together. So if we have a look down here, I've got a watering can filled with water. I have some garden twine or some string. I have a kneeling pad to protect my knees, some gloves to protect my hands. I have a trowel to do some digging. I have a good pair of sharp secateurs, and of course I've got my willow canes ready to go. Now, we're going to be building just over there in that corner. I am a little bit limited for space at the moment, and I don't have the perfect willow canes left since I've built mine to build another one perfectly. So the canes that you use when you build yours will hopefully be much greener and longer than the ones I'm using, but I'm going to do my best to show you what I can with the things that I've got. And if you've got any questions, do get in touch. So come with me, I'm going to head over to the bed and we're going to start digging things in. I apologise for the sound of the traffic, but I've got to be out in the front garden today and the roads are a little bit busy today. So let's take a stroll over. I've got my willow canes. I'll come back for the other bits in a moment, and we're going to head down to this little corner of the garden here where we're going to build our structure. I'll come back for my tools. At the moment all I need is the pad, some gloves, my trowel, and I'll take the secateurs as well. So before we put anything in the ground, we're going to prep our willow canes, and I want to make sure that these willow canes are nice and clear of any branches that are growing from them. So these ones I have here I've already trimmed down, and I've got this one here, and as you can see where it's been cut off, it's still got some things growing on there. So all I'm going to do is take my secateurs and just snip those bits off nice and close to the stem. So those bits we'll take away, we don't want to keep those. Those bits are gone. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 willow canes to start my project. Now if you see, this one here is nice and a light green colour. So is this one here. These ones, they're a little bit too brown, a little bit too pale, so they're not perfect. These are the ones that you want to use, okay? Nice long bright green stems. Now as I said, I don't have the perfect ones with me today. These are a little bit short and these two are a little bit brown, but it's what I've got left. So we're going to start putting these in the ground. Now first off, we're just going to mark out where we want them. So I'm going to build it in this corner here of the garden, because I know that there's nothing growing under here. The soil has all been worked, all the weeds are gone from the area, so it's nice and clear. The ground is a little bit hard around here. Hopefully yours will be a little bit softer, but I've not had time to work this little corner, and the rest of it has got potatoes in it. So I'm going to take my first one. Now you'll see that this one's got a few roots on the bottom there. That means that if we plant this in the ground and we water it well, it might actually start growing. So for now, I'm just pushing it down, just down into the ground like that, so it stands up on its own there, look. And I'm gonna take my next one, here it is, and I'm just gonna go about a foot away, just about a foot, 12 inches. You need to measure it, and again, just pushing it down into the ground with my hands. So now I've got two standing up like that in the ground. I'll take my third, push that into the ground, about the same distance again. And what we're going to do is make a square around the base. You'll see what I mean when I put the last one in. So last one, pushing it down into the ground, and you'll see what we've done is we've created a square shape on the ground between our four stems. And if I pull back a little bit and just twist that round, you'll see that we're beginning to get the first shape of our framework that our peas and beans are going to grow up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stems just pushed down into the ground. Nice and easy so far, and we've got our stems. Okay, now in order to secure these properly, now that we've put them in the ground like this, I'm going to take them out one at a time and dig them in properly with my trowel. So I'm going to take this first one, and where I pulled it out, so keeping that square shape, I'm going to dig down into the ground and just make a good little hole there, and then take my, push it down into the ground, and then pull all this dirt back in, give it a good pat down, and that just means that that stem there is going to be good and strong. It's nice and bendy, it's flexible, but it's not going to come out the ground, and it's not going to fall over. Now I'm going to do the same on these 4, and in a moment you're going to move on to video number 2 and join me when we come back to talk about how we make these stay together and how we build up the rings around the outside. So I'll speak to you in a little while. Join me soon for video number 2. For now, Tommy Titchmarsh out. See you soon.